to be some hard shit right there.
My favorite thing about Red and Meth is that I wanted to put this up in Twitter form, but it wouldn't have come up right. You guys are so you guys because you signed up for your actual Twitter accounts like 4 days before the album. That was my favorite. I know, 4 days before.
All right.
Hey, it's Cypher Sounds.
Cypher. This motherfucker stay punched.
What the fuck is that?
What's up with your fucking eyes? You don't even fucking smoke. You smoke? And you don't even smoke. This motherfucker eyes be like
It's rolling?
lazy as hell, nigga. And another thing I noticed about all y'all niggas that been around since we been around and shit, y'all got that extra luggage.
No, I'm losing, son. I lost 10 already.
My nigga, that's
I lost 10. I got a trainer.
You lost 10 already?
What you eating now? You change your diet?
Yeah, that's the most important shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's the most important. But like my trainer's like, you can still eat some shit, but just bring the portions down and try not to like. Cause every meal I was McDonald's out.
Out like yeah.
You got two flips. Which one am I?
That shit'll blow you the fuck up.
Yes, it will. Once you
This
fall
one.
into a pattern with that type of shit, yes, sir.
This one.
That's the hot one right there. Hot.
It's rolling. Are we rolling already?
Oh, we're already on?
Yo.
Woo!
So you ever heard of our Juan Epstein podcast? Cause a Puerto Rican and a Jew, Juan Epstein.
I ain't up that fucking early.
We talk real on here, and then we're gonna take parts of this and play it for the radio.
Okay.
But this is for the.
We figure we might as well do the real shit.
Then we can get a real interview.
Yeah.
Use our time wisely.
Red and meth and red.
Yes.
Juan Epstein.
Motherfucking building.
See, I like when people do it like that, when they do it both, both ways. That's
Red and meth, red and red.
No fish sticks.
Meth and red.
I like when they do it both ways.
Just
like
in
that,
case,
red
whichever
first,
way.
meth
What is
What's the legal way?
What is the legal way? Method Man and Redman, right?
No legal way. Either way you want to put
I
it.
looked at it as because M
What's on
becomes
the
from the R. That's why I picked.
But I
that's the
always
thing.
say red. When I write it down, especially when I Google, I always put Redman, Method Man.
In my brain, it's Redman.
Yeah,
Method Man.
I don't know why I always
Well,
say red and meth.
I always
Yeah,
say red
see?
first,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it does think legally. I do think the M's before the R, so maybe it's Method Man.
It just don't sound right, meth and red. Like it sound better, red
It
and
sounds
meth.
like a dog food or
I
something.
think when you first came up with this concept back in what, 99?
Yeah.
I think
Now the concept
It started in '94.
There you go. Yep.
94.
The red and meth promotion.
Well, the singles were together.
The Month of the Man.
Month of the Man
One
was
of the biggest.
94?
One of the biggest promotions in hip hop.
Holy
Yes, sir.
94.
Absolutely.
I think that RZA was on some bullshit and made Method Man name go first.
Oh,
that's what I think. That's my
shit.
theory.
You better shut up, son. You better shut up.
Where do we start?
I don't let
I'ma
nobody
tell
talk
you where to
about
start.
RZA B. I don't let nobody talk about Bobby Digital.
So where do we start with Red and Meth?
Let me start.
Okay, you start.
This is very important. I'm thinking about painting my truck black with a red stripe like the 18 van. How do you feel about that?
Nice. Almost like this jacket.
It's just like that jacket.
I wouldn't be mad at you. You gotta have some tough rims on it.
I'm gonna put the black the red rims like B.A. Baracus.
Nah, not no red rims.
Red rims, no.
No. I would have the black rims maybe with red trimming.
See, he infatuated. He liked the black rims. That's like black
you
on
go
black.
hard, you gotta go hard.
But I think
trim.
I think that red will pop off them rims. I personally.
I'm gonna pull out machine guns, but never shoot anyone.
No,
You know what I'm saying? Never, no.
Seriously, we have time with one of the greatest rap duos of all time. The first thing you bring up is B.A. Baracus.
I'm trying to paint my shit
I'm
up.
not gonna mind. I like being
He was the truth.
All right, let's get to Red and Meth.
Yes.
Album today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Syfe, you haven't listened yet, have you?
I did not listen to it yet.
Nice.
I want to go buy it. That's why.
I'll tell you my Blackout 2 experience, which was my friend hits me with an IM. He's like, Red and Meth just leaked. I'm like, oh, word? It was like last Thursday night or something like that. He's like, off, and he left up an away message. It was like, off to the Bluntmobile. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I gotta go listen to this shit in the whip right now. But I live at fucking roughly 47th and 10th Avenue. So like a drive in my neighborhood is like fucking Times Square. And you know what I mean? Like on a Red and Meth album,
ride with it.
you need to ride to a Red and Meth album. You need to roll something up and ride to Red and Meth. So I didn't get to do that until Sunday. And this thing cover to cover, man, it's not a disappointing follow-up.
Yeah.
See, but Rosenberg comes from the suburbs, so I think all his rap experiences, his whole life was throw the CD in the
I got
in the
put
car
on
and drive around.
You know what the odd part is? I got put on to Red Met's album, their first album, by people who I was a much bigger hip hop head than. But like as a DJ for whatever reason, I was playing the singles, but I never sat and listened to the full album.
First Blackout album.
And I went when the first time I sat in the whip in the suburbs riding around. The first one was insane.
Nice.
Where does
I told him he lives right by the Lincoln Tunnel. I told him go through the Lincoln and just drive through Jersey.
He
and
lives
have
right
your
by the
GPS
Lincoln
so you can
Tunnel,
find out
man.
how to get back.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I got to spend some time in Newark, by the way, the other day. We did an event there. That is a terrible place where you're from, man.
Absolutely.
That place is.
But it's coming up, baby.
Is it getting better?
Yeah. We just got that big ass stadium there, so they
we did a show there.
Yeah, they started having shows there, whatever. We getting it going.
I heard you can get $90,000 new homes in Newark, New Jersey.
No, but we listen.
Absolutely.
We was on Broad and Market at the new Metro PCS store, and Rosenberg was on the mic. I was DJing, and he was saying some things that he shouldn't have been saying. Like, "Yo, why don't you come in here and get a new phone?" And he was like, "Why don't you shut the fuck up, white boy?"
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
Yeah.
But we did a little red set. We ended up getting a little red set in there. So let's talk. How did you guys first meet?
I love Newark.
How did
Big
Red
up
Meth,
to Brick City.
How did Red Meth first get together back in '94?
It was a promotional thing, and Red was nice enough and gracious enough to let me come out on tour with him because he didn't have to. I'm pretty sure they asked his team first. And he was like, I was a new kid on the block, big Redman fan. I was Def Jammed out, you know what I'm saying? LL Cool J, Run DMC, all those dudes that came before me. And yeah.
And we went out on the Month of the Man tour.
Yeah, it was big.
Who invented that concept?
Kevin Loud. That
Kevin
was Kevin
Loud.
Loud's
That
baby
was
right
that.
there.
You know, that helped Kevin get to the status on his way the
I
way
think
he
we all
is.
came up together, though.
Yeah.
We all came
No,
up
that
together.
that concept when we got that vinyl as a DJ.
Yeah, man, that was big.
You
man.
got the double vinyl, and it had both the singles in it.
It had Rockefeller and Bring the Pain.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, Don't Sleep. That helped Kevin.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
I
it
know
did too.
We definitely all came up because it could have went either way, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Oh, it could have went horrible.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you guys gave Kevin the fucking shout out on record too. I don't remember hearing his name on a record before that.
Oh, yeah, Kev.
Yeah, Kev is my dude.
Care of us. He took good care of us, man.
So you grew up a Redman because by the time Wu came out, Red already had the two records really. The second record was already There's a Dark Side came out right after.
It came out with the promotion.
Wait, There's a Dark. No, wasn't it the third one?
Rockefeller's Dare the Dark Side.
Rockefeller is on that.
Oh, Rockefeller is Dare the Dark Side.
So Red's first album was out.
Came out in '92. I just came right back out in '94. That was it.
So you'd had one record out, but your name had already been out there for a couple years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was riding with EPMD. Big up to EPMD. They had me shaking my ass out there on the road with them. So yeah, I was building. Yeah. James Ellis was there.
Yo, Redman is the one who taught me, because I got bad allergies. Redman is the one who taught me how to properly stick tissue up my nose.
Did it help?
Absolutely. You have to do it every springtime, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was, I don't remember if it was Yo MTV Raps or Video Music Box where you were first introduced with EPMD.
Yeah.
Was it Yo MTV Raps?
I think it was. What?
And you had this tissue in his nose.
I think it's
like,
Young
how
T.
does he have a tissue in his nose?
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, I got bad allergies. I was like,
Yep.
fuck with Redman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you
Cover the
see.
Source was the bottom line when he did that.
When did Wu first album come out?
November '93.
Yeah,
93.
It came out in '93.
Yeah.
November '93. Yeah.
It was bugged out because, we was straight off the block dudes, and it was like when we would come home from shows, go right back to the block and sell crack, man. It was bugged.
God, my Lord.
Yeah, I remember watching the Method Man video on Video Music Box. Shout out to DJ Ralph McDaniels, by the way. We was watching that shit. I was watching that shit, and I remember broke as a motherfucker eating ketchup with rice. Well, rice with ketchup. There you go.
While your video was blowing up, while Method
My
was blowing
video
up.
was on there. Yeah, it was bugged out.
Yo, but so Wu first album came out in 93.
Yeah.
And then you signed the Def Jam when? Solo.
I signed the Def Jam while the album was circulating, before Cream even dropped